So if you do 3 a year, you're talking about $100 extra a job if this were to be implemented.
Repeat that, what'd you say?
You're going to pass this cost along to anybody that contracts out with you. And so,
If that's in the contract, if it's your own personal job, spec job, then you put out your own cost of the permit yourself. A lot of it's your own cost.
So $300 is one-time charge.
right.
After that, it's $50 a year. What does that break down to? $4 and something a month?
That $300 good for life?
That's $300 initial fee.
One time only.
After that, it's $50 a year.
Why did you not do that when the others were charged the $300?
Because I wasn't here for one, but I've been waiting for the state to do something. When the state enacted Senate Bill 306 requiring the insurance, I felt that was an opportunity for me to bring this to council.
Well, if they all had your insurance, would you not charge them the $300? Because it doesn't say that they, you know.
I understand it does not say we have to, but I have other trades in this town that have to. And I've heard them.
Well, that's our fault.
I've heard them complain for years about building contractors not having to be licensed.
It's a state issue.
But it can also be a city issue now that Senate Bill 306 was passed.
It seems like we're always taxing someone or charging fees, you know, and I just really don't like taxing.
Well, you know, I have license fees I have to pay yearly.
Well, and I just throw in that, you know, we deal with this every year. Like it or not, for better or worse, that's the way you run a city. And again, kind of part of my point is that we pay at some level for the privilege of being a part of the city and benefiting from the things that a city does. A park building its parks and its recreation, the things that make people want to come live here and run businesses here that help feed these gentlemen their business activities. And my business activities and yours, you know, anybody who does have a business here, it's kind of why we're here. And we run it off of taxes and fees, pure and simple. It's that easy. We've talked till we're blue in the face about taxes recently, and now all municipalities are talking about taxes. And it's the lion's share of the revenue that we have to if we're going to provide public services in the city of Tahlequah. But fees are another important component of the revenue stream. Open the audit book tonight that was given us, and we can all see that. So it's kind of, you know, it's one of those, I agree with you, I guess, Councilwoman, that no one likes them, and it always seems like whatever we do as a municipality, we're talking taxes and fees, but kind of the reality is that's how we run, that's how we keep the boat afloat. That's how we keep it running.
A moment ago, there was mention made of how this expands the protections from beyond residential to commercial. Explain that to me one more time.
It requires commercial contractors to show the same proof of insurance as the residential contractors.
Jack, Mr. Fisher.
No, not belittling the fact that $300 is a pretty good chunk of change.
Just general contract.
Related to my own situation, I pay $10,000 in license fees every year. I'd like to do 10,000 one year and 50 the next, you know. But it's a cost of doing business. And hopefully these guys do the same thing I do. I'll pass it along. I have to pass it along to my customers. So, you know, I thoroughly understand the purpose for a license fee. And I understand why I have to pay it. And it's to keep an organization afloat. But I don't say that I gladly do it, but I do it.
Tom.
Well, again, I just want to thank Joe for what he does, because in our intent here is to, in the public interest, I think, to be insured. We all agree on that. If we're trying to base the $300 on, well, because everybody else is paying $300, I don't like that statement. And I would also like to change the term license. We are not licensed. We haven't gone to school like an electrician, plumber, a heat and air, a mechanic. And eventually the state will license builders. We'll have to go to school, pass tests and that sort of thing. Then we can become licensed. And that way we can operate in any city in a state because it is a state license.
Do you have a suggestion on that particular issue, Tom? A word change?
Let's call it a fee.
I have one.
Put it down there.
Joe?
Tax.
Building contractor registration.
Okay.
I still object to the $300. I object to the $50 from the standpoint of we're turning in 2 pieces of paper. And it can be faxed right to his office, the workman's comp and the contractor's liability insurance forms. And the insurance companies always send them out. We all get statements every 6 months, 3 months, annually from all the subs that work for us that are licensed. It's 1 piece of paper that says contractor's liability insurance and it lists what it is, 1 page. Number 2, if you do enact a fee, where does that money go?
It goes to the general fund of the city of Tahlequah.
And if we were trying to help the local builders by implying a $300 fee, now this may be political, to say, well, this guy's not gonna erect a sign because he don't want to pay $300 to do it, he gets somebody else to do it, or get somebody else to build his house, why don't we make that a $5,000 fee, $10,000 fee for someone else to come in and build? That would keep them out. Possibly.
We can't
See,
single
so
out
that's-
people that are not here.
Well, so anyway, where's the magic of $300? We go back to the statement that the ordinance exactly stated, if the entity should require, which means you all have the option of doing this or not doing this.
And I think that we understand that, and that's
Okay,
really.
thank you for hearing us.
Tom, thank you very much for making the comments, and gentlemen, I want to thank each and every one of you tonight for coming. Irregardless of how this vote comes out on council, this is what local government's all about. You guys, I appreciate you taking the time out of your families and your nights, your week to come in and participate and let us know your opinions on this. Council, any final comments, questions before I ask for your disposition on it? We do have, is there an interest in word change that has been suggested?
I see no problem with Joe's recommendation.
Okay. Council, is there no final comments or questions on that? Oh, I'm sorry, Joellen.
This is just from a consumer standpoint and whether or not it would help the contractors. As a consumer, it would benefit if you all enact this fee, that we could use the city as a reference point for, is this contractor registered? Does he have insurance as a protection to us if that was there? And it would also provide a place where contractors could have their names on file to enable them to be put out there to the consumer. Say I come into a town and I don't know anybody. I could go to the city and say, okay, who are your registered or licensed? The wording there, that's immaterial. But I think it would be helpful to the residents if we knew who was a legitimate contractor in town.
Interesting point. Presume, Mr. Tony, that this would be a public record? That the licensing itself, a certificate,
Yes.
whatever,
Oh, yes.
it would
Absolutely.
basically be a public record,
Yes.
so there's no confidentiality about whoever's acquired that with the city and could be listed.
Well, and I think there should be, if someone flies through town, pays the $300, could there be some way that about